September 2020 video horoscopes for the 12 signs. I'm Lada from astrolada.com. Welcome to the craziest year and one of the tougher months. September, October, November, guys, months we're not gonna forget. And months of big spiritual growth. That's what we say to make you feel good. But indeed, you will see months where Saturn and Mars are square all the time. Mars is going retrograde this month, which means that some great feat of willpower will be required from us, and some great use of willpower, but we'll eventually will be able to achieve something tremendous by November, December, that we'll be so proud of. So we'll speak about each of the 12 signs, how Mars retrograde affects us. But just to let you know, me and Brian are making a fantastic webinar this September, in the middle of September. It's called speed reading the birth chart. So basically what it means to have the sun, moon, ascendant in different signs, how to tie them together, how to interpret the chart, what it means for you. And it's from the point of evolutionary astrology. I'm very excited about this webinar. Last webinar Brian did had 300 or 400 people, so, and it's 30% discounted. Come and join us to see how to quickly read the birth chart and what it means. It's for beginners, even for advanced or beginners. You don't need to know much astrology to understand it. Thank you so much. Let's start with the signs. Aquarius, rising sun and moon, September 2020. Guys, are you ready for Mars going retrograde in our third house? It's actually one of the easier positions. Other signs are having it harder than us. Poor Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, and Libras. But, you know, I'm Aries sun, so I'm getting this too. But the Aquarius rising, so you have to check your three signs, sun, moon, rising, to see. If you're not getting hit on one side, you might be getting hit from another one. But let's see. If you have a strong Aquarius, Mars is going retrograde in our third house. And the third house is the house of difficult things. And it's one of the best houses for Mars to retrograde in. I don't remember having it retrograde there ever in my life. I was 7 or 8 when it retrograded there. So that was like in the 80s sometime. So it's very rare, and for a few of us might never happen again in our lives. So, but I've watched other people have Mars retrograde in the third house and how it played out. But let's deconstruct it now. Third house is difficult things, and Mars is the soldier that likes to do difficult things. And that's why at the beginning it will be hard, but it really strengthens the courage. Third house rules courage, taking initiative to do difficult things. And Mars there, it's almost like we're in a training session for the next 2-3 months to strengthen our willpower. Third house rules willpower and courage in ancient astrology. So we're having like a triple dose of that, guys. And it might be triggered by some crisis though. Then, you know, you're not just gonna sit there, wake up one morning and say, I'm gonna develop my willpower for 2 months like I've never done before. No, something happens. Something triggers you. Some crisis situation, usually. Some conversation. You might read something. Mars is in the third house. Someone can tell you something, or you start thinking and you start realizing it's like some deep thinking can really, because your point of view starts shifting, your thinking starts shifting when Mars starts retrograding in the third house. So this can really push you to train your willpower like never before, to train your courage like never before. To do some difficult thing. And it's like developing a new skill, or it's like learning to, third house is where you learn to speak new languages, where you learn to play the piano, an instrument, to drive a car, to operate, you know, to make websites or whatever, any skill. And nothing is easy when you start at the beginning. And especially in September and October, you feel a lot of mental tension, stress there. You might be caught, but eventually, by the end of this process, you have achieved by November, December, some great feat of courage, some great feat of initiative. Third house is also self-made businesses, self-made wealth. People with their own businesses, they're having Mars and your Aquarius, and you're having Mars retrograde, they can indicate it can be very difficult time for couple of months where you're putting a lot of energy into your business, developing different strategies for marketing, for advertising different products. And that's what I'll be doing basically for 2 months, working like crazy on third house activities. Third house is media, marketing, business, clients, administrative work, writing, speaking, shooting videos, blogging, vlogging, articles, you know. So it can indicate like the need to really buckle down and for a couple of months while Mars is retrograde to put all you have, all your efforts, like a soldier on the battlefield, to tackle difficult tasks connected to the third house, like that require intense focus of your mind, um, that require the use of words, of communication. That's why it rules those fields that I told you about. Some of you might decide to redo some business strategy or business plan and fix it, or if they're working on some marketing project or some project. Third house is projects of any source that require your skills. That's why it's like anything, it can be anything basically. Third house is so wide, in meaning that they have to redo that project, especially if you're working in a team. Third house is like maybe you're working with 2 3 other people on this thing. There can be more competitiveness there. You can feel more patient with such people. You can feel more stressed with it. You can be fighting a bit more because of diverging views of how things have to be done, and because you have to go over something over and over. But the final result, yes, it requires 3 times more efforts, but the final result can be 3 times better product, 3 times more marketable business, 3 times more, you know. Or if you're doing a website, it's again third house, you might be delayed, have to be done over and over. But it also, retrograde planet puts more perfection to it, and the final result is more lasting. But on the negative side, it can create some crisis situation with siblings, fights with relative siblings, workmates, teammates, mates of any sort, some competitiveness there, business competitiveness as well in the third house that can escalate a bit through the roof. You can feel challenge in your everyday communication. For example, Mars starts going retrograde, your laptop breaks, or someone steals your phone, or you drop it in the toilet, or your website goes down. It can give a lot of sorts of problems with any communications, online, offline. Your software, the company software, starts malfunctioning. You know, all such things that have to be fixed. Or your car starts breaking down. That's another thing. So you have to find alternative route to work, alternative methods to go to work, or fix cars. These are all possible manifestations. Oh shit, it's like yeah. But it is what it is. But also, again, as I said, you can use a lot of willpower to fix something in your life, a lot of willpower to do something difficult that you were scared from before. And if you're traveling around, just be more careful. I would avoid traveling for a couple of months while Mars is retrograde, because it's just making too many hard aspects from Aries. Because if you go traveling, there will be blockages, there will be complications, even if it's short travels, even if it's like for 2 3 days somewhere. And of course, astrologers never listen to their own advice. So I'm traveling right before Mars goes retrograde, but it might be felt already. So we'll see. I'll tell you how it goes. But yeah, if you're going to travel, know that you need to have plan B, plan C, you know, in case things don't go according to plan. Just a bit more caution and a bit more, 3 times more efforts. Then you might be editing something written, spoken, some project, some reports, just a lot of mental activity. You might be reconnecting from people from the past as well, bringing up things from the past to talk about as well. Re-examining how you assert yourself in communications. Do you speak up? Usually Aquarius does. Aries rules their third house, the foot and the mouth syndrome. They say things that shock others. That comes because Aries rules your third house of communication. Aries like that, you know, goes and says whatever it wants immediately. But you might have to learn to bite your tongue a little bit now, or to do it in a more diplomatic or more strategic way. Mars retrograde is like, don't go firing everyone, don't go fighting with everyone, don't go writing angry emails at everyone. Instead, wait a few days or wait a few hours, calm down, and then give your response in a strategic, in a cooler way, because Mars retrograde wants to be less direct, in a more sideways way to win the battle. You might be fighting with people about you. You might feel strong compulsion to share your opinions. I've been doing that. I've never shared, I don't have political preferences, but I've never shared my beliefs about and opinions about spirituality and my conspiracy theories and stuff. And I started doing it. So, and you can receive some attack because of that, some backlash, you know, see consequences of things you've been throwing and putting out there. It doesn't mean don't speak up your truth, though. It means be strategic about it again. All right, so that's one thing. And of course, Saturn is in your 12th house, in our 12th house, and is becoming stationary. So you can feel like the whole month is dragging slower, like things are a bit more stuck, because Saturn rules us, one of the planets that rules us. And it's kind of like slowly dragging, staying at the same spot. Stationary means like Saturn is the whole time in the same degree, but slowly starting to change direction. You'll feel it from October when Saturn, from the end of September, mostly towards October, when you'll start feeling that you're able to start moving forward, that you're able to kind of start pushing through some blockages, especially blockages that come to us because of outer external circumstances out of our reach, because the 12th house is the invisible forces above, that circumstances outside, you know, of our ability to influence them, something that has been put in action from powers beyond us or from previous actions that we can't change now. So kind of have to be a bit patient if things feel a bit stuck. But you can also start feeling like it's gently a change of mind of your subconscious. The 12th house is your subconscious, of deeply held subconscious beliefs, of deeply held subconscious structures that you're starting to they're starting to shift in September very gradually in your subconscious, especially connected to vices, to weaknesses, to addictions, that your perceptions, there's something, and you can use a lot of Saturn stationary there, it can, and squared by Mars. Mars is willpower. Something is changing in your thinking, as I said, Mars going retrograde. Something is, and Saturn stationary, about to change direction in the 12th house of weaknesses, self-sabotaging behaviors, and hidden enemies as well. You can start feeling like gradually a shift in your attitude towards, you know, because our addictions, for example, they're so ingrained that they're not conscious choices, and something starts shifting gradually. You'll notice it from September, a change, but it's hard work. It's hard work, and you have to be consistent, but Saturn will give you the willpower. Saturn and Mars, the hard planets, will give you the willpower and the perseverance from Saturn to start shifting your mind on a deep level, basically, your subconscious, and some subconscious blockages to start moving forward. And from October, it starts getting easier and easier. All right, interesting times, guys. And also some matters might feel stuck, connected to foreign countries, to faraway places, to relocations. 3rd and 12th houses, they're houses of moving as well. So you can feel like some delays or blockages there. So, and there is some help. Venus is in our 12th house. Yeah, sorry, 7th house for the whole month. So it means that we're going to be helped a little bit. What helps us in those most challenging things of Mars in the 3rd house that I talked about? Good time with the partner, some romantic time as well, some attracting some good and pleasant people as well. A good maybe your partner can comfort you when you're feeling stressed. Maybe your partner can be your strongest support and nurse and comfort at those moments. You can also create some good business partnerships. You can create a good collaboration with a woman, or that goes smoothly. Or if you have some agreement or contract to sign, it can happen positively and easy with Venus in the 7th house. And some of you, very small part, but some of you might even meet some romantic partner with Venus is in the 7th house. So there you go. Thank you so much, Aquarius. And yeah, join me and Brian on speed reading the birth chart. How to do that? What does it mean? Sun, moon, ascendant, and all of those things. How to combine it all together. It's 30% off. Thank you.